So, Andreas, I'd love to kind of bring us a little full circle now to talk a little bit more about your undergraduate experiences, and specifically your co-curricular and extracurricular. I know that during your undergrad you got involved in an organization called Start Proud to give back a little bit to the 2S LGBTQ plus community. Can you tell me a little bit about your experiences with them and how that's kind of led you to giving back in other ways as well?
For sure. So I think, if I start back at starting university, I always wanted to get involved, find out a way to get involved with the LGBTQ plus community. And, I never really found a good fit for me because I wanted to help out in what I knew best, which was accounting and finance. And I remember that when I first heard about Start Proud, I was like, wow, it's a professional network of people in the community, and they get together, they run events, they plan mentorship opportunities, they plan networking opportunities. I was like, you know what, this is exactly what I resonate with really well. And I got involved to help out as the corporate treasurer. So I helped them primarily with making sure that their accounting was fine, that they're filing for taxes, that the auditor, because we had an auditor for that. So I made sure that on the audit side, everything was flowing properly and without issues. So I loved that I was able to give back using the skill set that I was passionate about, which was accounting and finance. And I actually ended up also stepping out of that role a bit. And in my last year in Start Proud, I actually was involved as the head of sponsorship because I wanted to try something different. Definitely, I'm not the biggest salesperson, but I am a big interpersonal person. So, it was nice to speak to people, talk about what they're looking for, how their organization can get involved, how they can give back to their community, and then finding how to connect those networks together of the students that are looking for opportunities, looking for guidance, looking for mentorship, and the employers that have the guidance, have the opportunities, and all of the above. So putting those things together, I found that I really, really loved doing that, and it was a great way to give back to the community for me. And yeah, that's since then I've looked to different organizations to give back to, and I've had a great time, finding things to give back with on the nonprofit front, as that's something that I'm passionate about on the side, and I really enjoy the opportunity to do that while also kind of retaining the experiences that I have at Ernst & Young and getting involved within EY as well.
Excellent. Yeah, and I also know that recently AFSA, our student organization, reached out to you to ask if you'd be interested in being a mentor for our new student 2S LGBTQ plus student group that we're starting to create a more safe space and create that and provide that area for community for our SAF students that identify as 2S LGBTQ plus. And so thank you for being open and being available to help mentor current students to be the best that they can be.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say, throughout my experience in undergrad and SAF, I guess it was a good experience from the sense that I never felt that I had any issues with my sexuality and who I was, and I owned it, and I realized that owning it was powerful. And I realized that through networking events as well, being my authentic self required me to own who I was and what I identify as and who I love. And I realized that just made me much better in approaching people and opening up to people and being more vulnerable. And throughout that experience, I realized that other people aren't as lucky. They don't get the same opportunities, they don't get the same chances to open up or be vulnerable. And I have to be thankful for the time that I spent with faculty, with yourself, with other members of the team. Whenever I had an issue or something I could trust, I could come up to you guys, I could discuss it, and I wanted to create that safe space for everyone. And coming from a student-led initiative now within SAF, I jumped at the opportunity to get involved right away. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and that I hope everyone can come out with the same positive experience that I did.
Mm-hmm. And I think your confidence, and like you said, owning who you are and being authentic and is very powerful. And I think you, without your knowledge, had been a huge role model and a mentor for a lot of our current students while you were a current student and MAC student, in just being your authentic self and being supportive wherever and whoever you can be. So thank you.
No, absolutely. I've always happy to give back. There's nothing, honestly, that gets me more motivated than supporting people, helping them realize their full potential, helping them realize their dream. And a lot of that starts with creating a space in which they feel that they can be their authentic self. And then from there, you plant a seed that just sprouts into, a wonderful career, I would hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm hoping that we are able to provide that safe space
For sure.
and community for our 2S LGBTQ plus students.
Absolutely.
So, thanks, Andreas.